What I'm planning on doing here is doing an oil change in a Ford Flex with the 3.5. This is the turbo model, but should be similar on the non-turbo as well. I'm presenting this in 4K, something new I'm trying. If you want to take a look at this on your television, it's the oil change step-by-step procedure. First thing I'm going to do, I'm on the driver's side here, so I'm going to try and jack it up under one of these engine mounts. It's on the subframe. There's a bolt there that you can jack up on. Once I got both sides done, there's a skid pan here, plate, which actually works as to help the cooler too. This one's got the turbo, so it's got a couple of inlets here, which will help it stay cool. So you'll want to make sure that you put this back on. In the middle here, there's a clip that it sits in, and then there's 4 little bolts, probably more like a wing nut, I'm thinking. A couple in the back here as well, just to show you where they are. You could use either a pair of pliers maybe to grab them, and there's like, I don't know, maybe half a turn. I found a socket that'll work the best. 15 millimeter socket will fit right over it. It'll hang on to it good enough, and a little easier to use, I think. So we'll try and get them off. I'm on the driver's side here towards the back, and we'll do the first one here, just slip it over and just turn it. You'll know as soon as it's loose. It's maybe a half a turn or something like that. Same with this one in the back here on the passenger side. Of course, you want to make sure you've got some jack stands under here as well, and then we'll get the front side, the driver's side one off as well. And once we do this, we can just slide this towards the back of the vehicle just a little bit, and it should unhook from that piece under the rad right here. Just push her back a little bit, hold her in the middle. It's not super heavy, but we can get it out of the way, and then we can get at our oil pan bolt. There's the oil filter. It's on the passenger side, front of the engine. I don't know what color yours is, depends on the brand. There it is anyway. And then remember, the engine's hot, and so are some of these exhaust pieces. Here's our oil pan bolt, 15 millimeter is what it is. Now, put an oil pan under here so you can catch it. And again, that oil is going to be hot. I took it for a ride, got it all nice and warm. Made sure the temperature was up. And we use our 15 millimeter wrench on this. Hopefully they didn't put it on too tight. Some gloves would be good too. And there it goes. So I'm just going to set that aside. We're going to make sure it all leaks out. It's about 5 liters, I guess, of oil. So while it's doing that, we'll come up with a plan for getting the oil filter off too. There's our bolt. It's got kind of a washer on it. It's actually got a rubber ring inside as well that does a little bit of a seal. Now you'll need one of these to get your oil filter off, oil filter wrench. Not really sure what this size is. Let's see if I can find one, put a link in the description if you don't have one. Usually they're tight enough that you can't get it off. And there we go. I'm going to loosen it up just a little bit so I can take it off by hand. Try and wiggle this back and forth to get it off. And now we're going to make sure that this is going into the oil pan. I did move it under here, and I actually had put a little margarine container in the back there to let the little bit of dripping from the engine. So I want to get all the oil out. Of course, I want somewhere to be able to put this old oil filter. It's going to spill. Remember the hot exhaust right there is your catalytic converter, is the back exhaust, and the front one as well. All very, very hot. And the oil's going to be hot too, so be careful. This is where it's nice to have the gloves so you don't get your hands all dirty. Of course, oil's not good for your skin either. Could soak in, and don't want to get any kind of cancer or anything else from that. Now while it's draining, I noticed, look, all of a sudden it just started draining like crazy here. It was just barely dripping before, but I don't know, I guess something must have moved or lost some pressure or something, and now it's all coming out. So I'm glad I didn't put the oil bung back in there, the bolt. So I like to get all the old oil out as much as I can. There's no rush. You can always go have a coffee or something while this is draining. That's why it's probably a good idea not to be in a rush. Now, what I'm going to do is I got my good brand oil, whatever it is, whatever you like to use. I should be using 530, but I'm using 520 in here. I'm going to just get my finger wet. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the seal of the new oil filter. I'm going to fill it a little bit with some oil, just so I get oil pressure right away. You want to make sure that oil, the ring on your oil filter is still on the old one as well. Sometimes they get stuck up on the engine. You take them off and you don't notice it, and then when you're putting a new oil filter back on, now you've got two rings there and they don't seal properly and you can blow your engine up. So just keep that in mind. Tighten this guy up. And I'm going to clean it up a little bit too. And it looks like it's still dripping a little bit, so maybe it's still time to have maybe another sip of coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink. Might as well wait. It's dripping pretty good yet. Still, I don't know how much is actually going to come out of here, but so as a reminder, make sure you remember that ring is on the old filter, just in case. Now, I'm going to write down my mileage. I've got some of these little stickers. I'll see if I can put a link in the description where I got these. I'd like them to be a little bigger. These aren't super big, so they're a little hard to write on, but, and I did put 520 in it. They do suggest 530. We going to get some pretty cold weather here for the winter. Minus 40s, so that's Fahrenheit. So I'm figuring I'll go with a little thinner oil. I did so last winter, and I went back to 530 for the summer. Put this bolt back in by hand. So want to cross thread it. Should be able to turn it all the way in, and then get our wrench, tighten it up. And give her a couple good ones there, and that should be good. Doesn't have to be super, super tight. And I'm going to write on the bottom here for next time what size this is. So it's a 15 millimeter, right? Can't hurt. That way next time I go under there, I don't have to grab a couple wrenches and see which ones they are. Now, I'm just going to make sure everything's clean again, just because there's going to be that cover. Shouldn't have any leaks. Haven't in the past. Or you may want to just drive it light for a day or two, just or around the block anyway, make sure there's nothing leaking. Now we need to put our cover back on the bottom there. It's not really a skid plate because it's plastic, but you'll see the strange kind of threads they have on these bolts. They only turn like maybe one turn or half a turn. And then they kind of lock. So I want to put that back in. Of course, this one's the turbo model, so this kind of actually pushes some air into there as well. It's a lot easier to do with two hands than with you holding a camera and some lighting. Remember that front piece goes in that hole there, in this, what do you want to call it? Slip that in there and then try and get some of the bolts back on. And the ring nuts or whatever they're called.
Okay.
Try it as hard as you can by hand, and then maybe you'll want to try and use a socket set or a pair of pliers if you are doing it that way. Where are we here? Driver's side we're doing it. Put that one in there. A little bit monkeying around to do that. Then we'll go back to the back. Oh, well, maybe I'll tighten it first. Come around and tighten them all later. Well, it seems tight. I guess it didn't want it to fall off. I'll try to get the back one in there. I'm going to have to move it around, shimmy it around a little bit. Tighten that guy up. Back on the driver's side, tighten that one back up. Get that one in there. Don't want this falling off. And oh, I'm just going to double check this front one again, just in case. Yeah, it's tight, so that's good. Forget that. That's in there. They're all looking good. I think we're done. This is time to put some oil in it now. Of course, your cap will tell you the grade of oil. This one says 530. A lot of the newer vehicles are 520. One nice clean funnel. And everything that's going in the engine clean. My brand new oil, full synthetic. Fill that guy up. It's going to take a little bit more than this jug. This is a 5-liter jug, whatever that is in quarts. This is Canada, so we're half metric. It's supposed to be all metric, but it just seems we flip back and forth for references. You know how many miles a gallon you get, or at least the older guys do, versus liters per 100 kilometers, that kind of thing. So I want to double check it and make sure. Of course, it's so clean it's kind of hard to read. It looks like it's sitting right about there, just past the first oil hole there, which will catch it. So it should be enough to run it anyway. So I'm going to go in the vehicle and start it up. Now I've got a little oil priming tip, oil pressure tip, to get the oil pressure right up quick. So you want to take your foot on the gas pedal, hold it right to the floor. Make sure it's right to the floor and don't let go. Make sure it's right to the floor. Then turn the key on and just let it start by itself. And it's crank, crank, crank. And then as soon as you let go of the gas, it should start up. What that does is the oil pump has a little bit of time there to suck a little bit of oil and start moving it through all the passages that maybe there isn't any oil yet. And just let it run there for a second and move the oil around. Then maybe we'll double check again the oil and just see how it is. What's the motor off? See if I can read it any easier. Probably not. What I'm guessing I'm going to have to do is, because it's so clean and a little bit hard to read, but it looks like it's enough for now. I'm going to put this back in there and drive around the block just to let the oil, move around there a little bit, maybe get some of the dirty oil that's still in the engine circulating, and just make this look a little easier to read. And then try and fill it up all the way. We'll see what the book says for sure as to how much oil this is supposed to hold. How do we change this? It's been giving me it's time to change the oil. So if we go, we can go into these setup first, press setup, and scroll through what this says here. So I'm going to press setup, engine oil soon, press to clear. That's not, I don't believe that's the one we press first. Well, we could do it. Even if you press it, it's not going to make it to 0. It'll get you into a loop here where you can have some more suggestions. Mm-hmm. Or I guess the word is choices. So I guess we're going to press reset to to turn this engine oil change off. So then you get into this menu, and then we're going to use our setup button and get to this oil life menu. And then, of course, if we press the reset button, it should set that. Oh, I bumped it. Hit the oil life reset, and then hit the reset button. Hold it down. Now we're at 100%. There you go. And that easy. So there's the reset button. There's 3. Okay. And I guess that's how we've done it. Check the oil one more time here, see if it's still a little off the stick a little bit. And then we should be good for another 6 months or a year, depending on how far you're going to drive. Yeah, let's see it there. We'll see what the book says. And I'm sure on the 3.5, it's 5.2 liters, I think. This is the Flex book. You can check your own information there. So it says 5.5 quarts or 5.2 liters. Thanks for watching.